Hi everyone, today we're doing a sideline workout to get your glutes and your legs fired up. You don't need any equipment other than a cushion for your head, so let's get going. Actually, I'm just going to have to get my cushion, which I haven't got. Here we are. So we are going to start by coming down to lie on our sides on our mats and have your legs together. So try and get our spine in one long line. Have the cushion between your head and your lower extended arm, and then your legs are going to be out in front of you about a 30-degree angle. So if you think that this is 0 degrees, so you've got your body in one nice long line, then draw your legs in front of you, so 30-degree angle. This top hand can either go on the floor in front of you, or you can place it on your hip. And I'd like you to make sure that your shoulders, your hips and your ankles are stacked. So from here, let us take that top leg backwards slightly and go into some circles. So we're going to keep the leg level with our hips. So that's the start of your circle. And then we're going to go behind the line of our body and forward. So nice and still through the rest of our body. The movement is coming from that hip. So rolling round, just breathing normally here. I'm going to go 2 more in this direction. Drawing those toe muscles in to support you. Pause here, and now let's reverse and go the opposite way. So circling around here. Well done. So we're going to get the back of the leg and the glutes working super hard. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Now pause this leg here. Going to keep it level with our spine and then turn the leg so the toes pointing slightly up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to go into some lift and lower. So breathing in. As you breathe out, lift that leg up, keeping it long, and then leading with the heel, come back down. So you're going to point the toe to breathe out, lift the leg up. Inhale, come down. It's actually harder than it looks, isn't it? So let's lift and lower. Breathe out and in. Go 2. And our final one here, lift and lower that leg down and rest it here. Well done. Okay, so from here, we're going to come up and I'm going to just check what we're doing. Sideline forces back. We're going to keep on our side. So from here, bottom leg still out in front. And then we're just going to turn the ankle, so toes pointing forward, and you can reach through your heel. From here, we're going to come into some pulses back. So let's breathe in to prepare and breathe back. 2, 3, 4, 5, and return. So we're just doing little pulses back, getting the back of the glutes switched on. Toe muscles coming in. Let's go back. 2, 3, 4, 5, return. Back. 2, 3, 4, 5, return. Great. One more back. 2, 3, 4, 5, and return and bring that leg down. So now, legs go back together, out in line with our spine. I'm going to practice into our torpedo. Let's take this top hand and place it long along our leg. And then we're going to go straight into a torpedo too. So nice and long through your body. Think about lifting that lower waist up from the floor once again. Breathe in. As you breathe out, float that top leg up to hip height. Bring the second leg up to join it. Lower down with control. Good. So breathe out to float and float. Inhale to lower down. Well done. Out, out, and in. Out, out, and in. Let's go 2 more. Out, out, and in. And our final one. Out, out, and in. So now we're going to turn this into quite an intense torpedo, because as well as lifting both legs up together, we're going to float that top arm up and over like this at the same time. Okay, so let's just practice the legs first. Keeping your inner thighs squeezed together, let's breathe in. As you breathe out, let's float both legs up. Inhale to lower down. Well done. So you can see you lifting both legs up, keeping them glued together. Now let's practice the arms. So we breathe in, and as you breathe out, we just bring the arm up into a single floating arm, reaching through your fingertips. Inhale, lower the arm down. Well done. And again. Breathe out to float all the way up and over. Inhale to come down. So now we're going to do those 2 exercises together. Breathing in and breathing out to float. Lifting and stretching through that top arm. Inhale to lower down with control. Well done. Let's go again. Breathing out to float. Inhale to lower. Well done. So tummy muscles are coming in. You're supporting your spine here. Let's go again. Lift and lower. We've got 2 more like this. Breathing out and in. And our final one. Out and in. And relax here. Well done. Take the pillow away from underneath your head and bring yourself up onto your side lying, shall we say. Now we're going to practice 2 types of side lift. So the first, I'd like to have your elbow down on the floor underneath your shoulder, hands flat on the floor with lots of space between your fingers, and your knees and feet are together as if we were to do oyster. So your heels are in line with your bottom. So top hand goes on that top hip. Keep your gaze going forward, breathe in. As we breathe out, just float up and lower down with control. So we're just pressing through that arm. Breathing out and in. So think about internal core that's switched on to support you. Breathe out and in. Good. Keep your shoulders wide apart. It's a really nice one to practice with before we go into our full-on side lift. Last one. And lower down. Well done. Okay, so moving our position now. We're going to have our hand on the floor. So fingertips pointing away from you. Bottom leg is still bent, and we're going to take this top leg and pop it so the foot is on the floor in front of the opposite angle. So you've got quite a wide gap between your knees. Now, before we start, check that your legs aren't too close in towards you and they're not too far apart. You're going to find it hard to lift if they are. So it should be kind of a happy medium where you've got about a 90-degree angle at this top knee. So hand on the floor, shoulders nice and wide, and that top hand has its back of the hand against the front of your knee. So let's breathe in, and as we breathe out, think about pressing through that arm, drawing your knees and inner thighs together, and you'll float up into a lovely side lift. Pause here. Inhale and bring yourself down with control. That's the hardest bit, is coming down without banging down onto the floor. So let's try again. Breathing in and out to float. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Keep your face going forward. Inhale to lower down. Well done. Let's see if we can do 2 more like this. Breathing out. And in. Lower down with control. We've got one last one. Check that that lower shoulder is away from your ear. Breathe in and out to float. And in to lower down. Well done. Okay. Give that hand and that wrist a little bit of a roll around, just releasing any tension you've got in there. We're going to do exactly the same over on the other side now. So we're going to start with those leg circles. So grabbing your cushion and setting yourself up so that your legs are together. Your head is supported by your cushion on top of that long lower arm, and your legs are together out at a 30-degree angle. So drawing up through your waist, and place that top hand either on the top hip or on the floor in front of you. And then lengthen that leg away so that it's in line with your hip. So from here, we're going to do our leg circles. So we're just going to start circling around. Bring that leg in front of the line of your hip as much as you do behind. Lengthening through that leg. You might find it feels different on one side than the other. Keeping the top shoulder away from that top ear. Good. Just breathing once with every circle here. Last one. And now let's go the other way. Circling around. Toe muscles drawing in. Circling around. That's great. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Now let's turn that leg so the toes pointing up. And we're going to lift that leg up and then lead it down with the heel. So top hand again, just in front of you to give you a bit of support. Breathe in. As we breathe out, let's lengthen that leg up towards the ceiling and then draw down with the heel. Well done. Point and float. Lower down. Well done. Good. Breathing out. And in. So we're trying to keep that leg slightly behind the line of that lower leg. That's looking really good. So toe muscles still coming in. The movement is just coming from the hip. One more like this. Float and lower. Well done. So keeping that flexion of the ankle, turn your leg now, and we're going to go into those pulses back. So let's breathe in and then back, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's quite hard to do this and keep everything else still, isn't it? So we're just going to pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5. That lower leg should be really active, so that's helping stabilize you. And if you want to, you can place that top hand on the hip, just to make sure that nothing else is moving. So there should be no wiggle in your spine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And one more. Pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5. And relax that leg down. So now let's take both legs long in line of our spine, ready for our torpedo. So ankles are stacked, hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Top arm long along that top leg, and we're going to go into that torpedo. So breathe in. As we breathe out, let's float that little top leg up to hip height. Draw the second leg up to join it. Lower down with control. Breathe out and in. Good. Out to squeeze, ooh, and in. So it's quite hard to stabilize on the side of your body. So if you need to, you can place that top hand in front of you just to give a bit of stabilization. Let's go. Lift, squeeze, and lower. Lift, squeeze, lower. One more like this. Great. So now we're going to practice going into our torpedo with that floating arm. So let's practice our legs first of all. We're going to float both legs up together. Breathe in, out to squeeze, lower down. So you see both legs lifting at the same time. Let's try the arm now. So keeping your legs still, let's breathe in. And then we're going to float the arm up and over in a single floating arm, reaching through your fingertips. Lower down with control. Good. One more time. All the way up and over. Bring them down. So let's do those exercises together now. So breathing in, breathing out. We're going to float. Keep those legs up whilst you move your arm. Inhale, lower down. Well done. And again. Breathing out to float, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale to lower. Let's go 2 more times. Lift. So your spine is actually working really hard here to stabilize and make sure that nothing else moves. Final one here. And lower down and relax. Let's get rid of that cushion now and come up ready for our side lift. So to start with, your elbow goes underneath your shoulder and your legs are together as if you're doing an oyster. So your heels are in line with your bottom, your knees out in front of you. Top hand can go on that top hip, and we're just going to press through the shoulder to float our hips up from the floor. Breathing in. As you breathe out, let's float. Lower down with control. Good. And again. Breathing out to float. Inhale to lower. Top shoulder away from the ear. Let's go again. So it's a really nice warm-up exercise. You can feel how middle muscles are working super hard to support you. Good. And 2 more. Float. And down. And our last one. All the way up and down. Now let's move position now. Ready for that full-on side lift. So if you feel more comfortable, you can stick with that elbow version just until you build your strength and your stamina up with that. So our hand now goes on the floor, level with our hips, fingertips pointing away from us. And we're going to take that top leg and just put the foot in front of the other ankle. Our hand goes by our knee. And we're going to go into that lift from here. So let's breathe in. And as you breathe out, think about floating your hips up as your inner thighs come together. Top hand reaches up towards the ceiling. And then smoothly with control, let's lower down. As I said on the other side, this is the hardest part. And you might find that one side feels completely different from the other. Let's breathe in. And out to squeeze. Lower down with control. So if you feel more comfortable, you might like to do just a little half one, or you might like to go straight into the full one. Just make sure you take care of your body. And if you feel any pain, just stop this exercise. Squeezing the thighs together. Lower down. Let's see if we do 2 more. I always find my left hand side is so much harder than my right. Lift and lower. And this next one is the final one. Breathing in and float. Lower down with control and rest here. So let's give that wrist a little bit of a roll round. Releasing any tension, maybe going to a few little shoulder circles as well. Turn your head from side to side before we go for our 2 final breaths. So sitting however suits you. Sitting nice and tall here, toe muscles supporting you, arms out to the side, breathe in. As you breathe out, let's float both arms up towards the ceiling. Lovely stretch. Press the air away. Let's go one more time. All the way up, lovely stretch. Press the air away. And give yourself a nice clap. Well done. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I hope you've really enjoyed your Pilates workout. Looking forward to seeing you soon, so take care of yourselves and goodbye.